What's up, everybody, and welcome to another edition of High Mythology, the show where we get high enough to dance with the stars. We tell you guys silly stories from mythology and folklore. Yum. Tonight, we will be bringing you part 3 of our tales of tricksters from the Native American mythology and folklore.
It is the finale.
It is the finale, the finale.
The trilogy
The final countdown. Trilogy is complete.
All good things come in trilogies.
Yeah, all good things come in trilogies. And then if they tack on another trilogy, ignore it.
Yeah, number 4.
And if they tack on a third trilogy, go fuck yourself, George Lucas. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah. Yeah, tonight it's going to be some more fun shenanigans, some more Coyote getting into trouble.
A lot of Coyote.
He's a wily Coyote, pun intended. A lot of Coyote. I'm sure there's going to be some dicks and some fucking, because that's been what I've seen so far. There's one thing I've learned from this. It's Coyote fucks. Yeah.
Or wants to.
Or wants to, yeah, exactly.
Or his buddy.
Or his buddy does, yeah. And let's all not forget from last time, someone has already banged Coyote's wife. Well, without further ado, Kimbo, go ahead and take it away.
Oh, you must present the title.
Oh.
And tribe.
Story number 1. Coyote Dances with a Star by the Cheyenne Tribe.
Thank you. Because the great mystery power had given Coyote much of his medicine, Coyote himself grew very powerful and very conceited. There was nothing he believed that he couldn't do. He even thought he was more powerful than the great mystery himself. For Coyote was sometimes wise, but also a fool. One day, long ago, it came into his mind to dance with a star. He said,
I really want to be on that show.
He saw a bright star coming up from behind the mountain, and he called out,
Oh, you star, wait and come down. I want to dance with you and maybe slip a finger.
The star descended until Coyote could get a hold of him, and then soared up into the sky with Coyote hanging on for dear life. Round and round the sky went the star, and Coyote became very tired, and the arm that was holding onto the star grew numb, as if it were coming out of its socket. He said,
Star, I believe I've done enough dancing for now. I'll let go and be getting back home to my wife that someone else has totally banged.
The star says,
No, wait, we're up too high. Wait till I come down lower over the mountain where I picked you up.
Damn, Star, you are gruff. Maybe I won't slip a finger in then.
But I was kind of hoping.
Coyote looked down at the earth. He thought it seemed quite near. He said,
I'm tired, Star. I think I'll leave now. We're low enough.
And he let go.
Bye. Deuces.
He had made a bad mistake.
Uh-oh.
He dropped down, down, and down. He fell for a full 10 winters.
Jesus.
He plopped through the earth clouds at last, and when he finally hit the ground, he was flattened out like a tanned, stretched deer skin.
Please don't tell me he got up and did an accordion move. He got up, and then his body moved like an accordion.
So he died right there.
He held up a little sign that said, oops. Yeah.
Now, the great mystery power had amused himself by giving Coyote several lives. It took Coyote a few winters, however, to puff himself up again into his old shape.
It's totally Looney Tunes did. He just stuck a thumb in his mouth and went...
It took him a while. He had grown quite a bit older in all that time, but he had not grown less foolish. He boasted...
Who besides me could dance with the stars and fall out of the sky for 10 long winters, and be flattened out like a deer hide and live to tell the tale? I am Coyote. I am powerful. I can do anything.
Coyote.
Bugs Bunny also, I believe, did that. So
I believe so too.
Elmer Fudd. Yosemite Sam. Yeah. The list goes on, Coyote. You're not that special.
Coyote was sitting in front of his lodge one night when from behind the mountain arose a strange kind of star. A very fast one, trailing a long, shining tail. Coyote said to himself,
Look at that fast star. What fun it would be to dance with it.
He called out,
Hey, strange star with that long tail, you sexy beast. Wait for me. Come down here and let us dance.
The strange fast star shot down and Coyote grabbed hold. The star whirled off into the vastness of the universe, and again Coyote had made a bad mistake.
Uh-oh.
Looking up from his lodge into the sky, he had no idea the star's real speed, and it was the fastest thing in the universe. It whirled Coyote around so swiftly that first one and then the other of his legs dropped off. Bit by bit, small pieces of Coyote were torn off in this mad race through the sky. Until at last, only Coyote's right hand was holding on to the fast star.
Uh-oh.
Coyote fell back onto the earth in little pieces, a bit here and a bit there, but soon the pieces started looking for each other and slowly coming together, forming up into Coyote again.
It's just like the Looney Tunes.
It took a long time, several winters, in fact.
He held up a little sign that said, Oops again.
At last, Coyote was whole again, except for his right hand, which was still whirling around in space with the star. Coyote called out,
Great mystery. I was wrong. I'm not as powerful as you. I'm not as powerful as I have thought. Please have pity on me.
Then the great mystery power spoke, saying,
Friend, Coyote, I have given you 4 lives. 2 you have already wasted foolishly. You better watch out.
Coyote wailed.
Have pity on me. Give me back my right hand. It's my favorite to masturbate with. I was beating my meat the whole time.
The great mystery said,
That's up to the star with the long tail, my friend. You must have patience. Wait until this star appears to you, rising from behind the mountain again. Then maybe it will shake off your hand.
Coyote asked.
How the fuck often does the star even come over this mountain?
And the great mystery replied,
Once in 100 lifetimes. Deuces.
The end.
You son of a bitch. Why are you not answering my calls anymore? Yeah. That was retold from several North Californian fragments from the Cheyenne tribe. Yeah. Moving on. Story number 2. This just it sounds like it would be a video that, like, if there were a Looney Tunes world or like Zootopia, where it's all just animals, like their version of 2 Girls, 1 Cup would be Coyote and the 2 frog women. Like, don't Google that, please.
Yeah, you don't want to Google this.
Yeah.
This is an odd story that I had to put in there.
Coyote and the 2 frog women by the Aussie tribe.
I'll just start it. Coyote had no wife and nobody wanted him. So one day he decided that he would go to the coast and look for dried salmon to buy.
I've been there before.
He wasn't gone long when he came upon 2 frog women who were digging in the ground for camas. They called out,
Hey, where are you going?
He acted as if he didn't hear, and when they had yelled at him a 3rd time, he seemed to pay attention. Coyote yelled,
What do you want?
The frog woman said.
Nothing. We've just been trying to ask you a question.
Coyote asked.
What is it?
Frog woman say.
You ever eaten frog ass before? Where are you going?
Coyote yells.
I'm going to the coast to get some salmon and maybe along the way find myself.
The frog women say.
Oh, all right. Are you gonna leave a thumb on your way back?
Coyote says.
Well, certainly.
And so he went
Woman
on.
I've never met. Of course I planned to give you fucking salmon on my way back. I swear to God, these people.
So he went on, and he was thinking.
I wonder how I'm going to play a trick on those two.
He hadn't gone far when he saw some yellow jacket wasp hanging on a branch. He went to their nest, took it off the tree, and closed it so that the yellow jackets could not fly out. Then, slipping it into his basket, he opened the nest again and tied the basket so that the wasp could not fly, or so that the wasps could fly around inside but not come out. Coyote put the basket on like a
The old
backpack.
basket of wasp trick.
Coyote put the basket on like a pack and went back to the women digging for camas. He didn't seem to pay attention to them, so they shouted.
Hey, are you on your way home?
Coyote says.
Yes, I'm on my way home.
The frog women say.
How much salmon are you bringing back?
Coyote says.
Not very much. I'm kind of broke.
The frog women say.
You promised to leave some behind for us.
Coyote says.
All right, you piece of shit. Come over here and get it.
They came up and he began to untie his pack. Coyote says.
You put your two heads inside the basket.
They did, whereupon he kicked the pack. The yellow jackets came out so angry that they stung the two frog women to death.
Sorry.
Here's where it gets weird. After the women had died, Coyote took off their vulvas and went on.
I'll take this.
Now, whenever he felt like intercourse, he dug a hole in the ground and put those vulvas there and then fucked it. First ever pocket pussy.
Fucker. You son of a bitch.
Pretty soon, the two women came to life again. One began to examine herself and cried,
Oh, geez, my vulva's gone. Not again. How about you?
The other looked, and hers was gone too.
Oops.
They agreed that it was Coyote who played the trick on them. And for this reason, frogs, they say, have no female organs.
Yeah, the coyotes have two.
The end.
Oh no, where'd my vulva go? This happens to me like literally all the time. I once left it in a 7-Eleven truck stop bathroom for 3 weeks before I realized.
Okay, that was based on a tale from 1901 from the Elsie tribe, Alcia.
I'll see.
Oh, not my vulva. Oh, okay, story number 3, doing a trick with eyeballs
Thank you.
by the Northern Cheyenne tribe.
Okay. Viho is like some tourist who comes to an Indian village not knowing how to behave or what to do, trying to impress everybody.
Fucking tourist.
One day, you can call them vatos, you call them howlies.
Call them vihos.
They're vihos for them.
Cracker.
One day, Viho meets a medicine man with great powers. This man thought to amuse Viho and says, with a little trick,
Eyeballs, I command you to fly out of my head and hang on that tree over there.
At once, his eyeballs shot out of his head and in a flash were hanging from the tree branch. Viho watched open-mouthed and said, as the medicine man says,
Hello, eyeballs. Come back to where you belong in these little holes in my head.
and as quick as lightning, the eyeballs were back where they ought to be. Viho says,
Uncle, please give me a little of your power so that I too can learn this wonderful trick. For no creepy reasons, I promise.
To himself, Viho was truly thinking,
Then I can set up as a medicine man. Yeah, people will look up to me, especially all them good-looking girls. Yeah, they'll give me gifts. I can peek on with my little eyeballs.
The medicine man says,
Why not? Why not give you a little power to please you? But listen, Viho, don't do this trick more than 4 times a day, or your eyeballs will run away.
Viho says,
No, I won't.
Viho could hardly wait to get away and try this stunning trick.
So stunning.
As soon as he was alone, he ordered,
Eyeballs, hop out on that ledge over there. Yeah, jump to it.
and the eyeballs did. Viho couldn't see a thing. And he said,
Oh, quickly, eyeballs, back into your sockets.
and the eyeballs obeyed.
Oh.
Viho says to himself,
Oh boy, oh boy. Oh, what a big man I am. Powerful, really powerful.
Soon he saw another tree and he yelled,
Eyeballs. Oh yeah, get up into that tree quickly.
For a second time, the eyeballs did as they were told. Viho shouted, snapping his fingers.
Back to the skull.
And once more, the eyeballs jumped back.
Oh yeah.
Viho was enjoying himself, getting used to this
Too much.
marvelous trick.
Yeah.
He couldn't stop.
Oh yeah.
Twice more, he performed it. And he said,
Eyeball, I want you to go way up my butt. Just way up there, as far as you can go.
later he came to...
Well, that's it for the day.
I was just like, I'm going to skip this.
Carrying on.
Later he came to a big village and he wanted to impress the people with his powers. He told them,
Would you believe it, my cousins? I can make my eyeball jump out of my head, fly over to that tree and hang themselves from a branch, and then they'll come back when I tell them to.
The people, of course, didn't believe him, and they laughed. And Viho grew angry and said,
Oh, it's true. It's true. You stupid people. I can do it. I'm special. I'm a man.
the people said, show us. And Viho tried to remember.
How often I've done this trick, I can't count very high. Was it 4 times? Nope. The first was only for practice. It doesn't count. I don't know if it counts when I made it go on my butthole. But still, I'll show these dummies something.
And then he commanded,
Eyeballs, hang yourselves on a branch of the tree.
and the eyeballs did. And a great cry of wonder and astonishment went up.
Someone threw up.
Viho says,
That would be my reaction. He would do it, and I'd just be like, okay. I didn't need to see that. I would just walk into work.
Viho says,
There, you trouts. Didn't I tell you?
he strutted himself around, puffing himself up. And after a while, he said,
All right, eyeballs, come on back.
but the eyeball stayed up in the tree.
Oh, shit. This ain't good.
Viho cried again and again,
Come back, you no good eyeballs.
but the eyeball stayed put. Finally, a big fat crow lighted on the tree and gobbled them up. Good, said the crow.
Yep, now I'm throwing up again. Yep.
And the people laughed at Viho, shook their heads, and went away.
Hey, look at that. That crow just ate that human guy's eyeballs.
Viho was blind now. He didn't know what to do. He groped through the forest.
Oh, yeah.
He stumbled.
Oh, it's a
He
forest.
ran into trees.
Trees.
Snack.
Oh, goddamn.
He sat down by a stone and cried. He heard a squeaking sound. It was a mouse calling another mouse. And Viho cried,
Mouse. Little mouse. I'm blind. Please let me have one of your eyes so that I can see again.
The mouse answered, but my eyes are tiny, much too tiny. What good would one of them do you? It wouldn't fit. But Viho begged so pitifully that the mouse finally gave him an eye, saying, I guess I can get along with the other one. So Viho had one eye, but it was still very small indeed. What he saw was just a tiny speck of light. Still, it was better than nothing. So Viho staggered on until he met a buffalo. He begged,
Buffalo brother, I have to get along with this one tiny little mouse eye. How can such a big, strong, manly man like myself make do with just that? Have pity on me, brother. You can give me one of your big, beautiful, just sexy-ass buffalo eyes.
the buffalo asked,
But what good would one of my eyes do to you? It is much too big for your eye hole.
But Beho begged and wept and wailed until the buffalo said, "Well, all right, I'll let you have one. I can't stand listening to you carry on like that. I guess I can get by with just one eye." And so Beho had his second eye. The buffalo's bull eye was much too big, and it stuck out of his socket like a shiny ball boys like to play with.
What giant bulging eye, one little normal eye. Yeah, this'll work.
It made everything look twice as big as his own eyes had. And
That's not how eyes
since
work.
the mouse eye saw everything 10 times smaller, Viejo got a bad headache. But what could he do? It was better than being blind. And Viejo says,
"It's bad, miss."
Viejo went back to his wife and lodge. And this whole time he had a wife. His wife looked at him and said,
This is like some sitcom shit, too. "I believe your eyes are mismatched." This show was filmed in front of a live studio audience.
and he described all that had happened to him. She said,
"You know, I think you should stop fooling around trying to impress people with your tricks."
and Viejo says,
"I guess so."
the end.
Woof. Yeah, that was told by Rachel Strangeowl in Brittany, Montana, 1971, and recorded by Richard Irdis, and it is from the North Cheyenne tribe. Oh, fucking Coyote. Coyote steals the sun's tobacco by the White Mountain Apache. Yeah. Yeah, Coyote just sneaking some tobacco, some wacky tobacco. I know you kids these days with your marijuana cigarettes and your reefers.
Nothing wrong with that. That's what I'm doing.
Driving around in your hot rod cars.
Going 5 miles under the speed limit.
Yeah.
Just kidding. One day, Slim Coyote started out to Son's house.
Sounds like Slim Shady's cousin.
Yeah. When he got there, Son was not home, but his wife was. Coyote asks,
"Where is my cousin, the sun?"
Son's wife said that he had gone out and was not home yet. Coyote saw Son's tobacco bag hanging on the side of the house. And Coyote says,
"I came to smoke and talk with my cousin, so give me a smoke while I'm waiting. He won't mind. He's my cousin after all."
Coyote was talking to Son's wife as if she were his mother-in-law. She handed him the tobacco bag, and he used it to fill his own little buckskin bag. And then he quickly hid his bag and rolled up a cigarette, so that he actually got off with a lot of Son's tobacco without her noticing. Coyote says,
"Since my cousin hasn't come back yet, I guess I won't wait after all."
And he starts home. Pretty soon, Son arrived and asked,
Who's been here and gone?
while looking at his depleted tobacco bag.
Someone smoked all my greens. I'll get that fellow, god damn it.
His wife answered. Sorry. I'm Son's wife. I'm sorry.
Plot twist.
Somebody who said that they were your cousin. Sorry. I was really confused. She told him what had happened, and Son was very angry. He said,
"That son of a bitch, I'll get him."
and so he went out from where he went out front where he had Black Wind Horse tied and saddled him up and set off after Coyote. Wow, that was a tongue twister for me. Sorry. Black Wind Horse could fly, and when he traveled, he made like noises like lightning. A light rain started to fall and covered up Coyote's tracks, but Sun could still follow the thief by the ashes from his cigarette. It kept raining, and pretty soon the tobacco Coyote had with him started to grow. And soon it was putting out leaves, and then flowers, and then at last it ripened and dried, and the wind scattered the seeds everywhere. When Sun saw this, he gave up chasing Coyote and went home.
Oh.
When Coyote got back to the Apache camp, where he was living, he kept his tobacco for himself, and he wouldn't give any away. The people kept asking him for just a little smoke, but he said no.
Puff, puff, pass, brother.
The Apache held a council on how to get Coyote's tobacco away from him, and they decided to pretend to give him a wife. They told him, "We're gonna give you a wife." And Coyote said,
I love how straight to the point it is. They decided to give him a wife, so they told him, "We're going to give you a wife." You're trying to fool me.
They said, No, we're not. We're really going to give you a wife. And then they set up a new wiki up for Coyote. They set up a new wiki up for Coyote. And they dressed a young boy as a girl and told the boy not to let Coyote touch him until just before dawn. They made a bed in the new wiki up, and Coyote felt so good that he gave them all of his tobacco. Just about dusk, the boy dressed as a girl went over and sat down beside Coyote in his new wiki up. Slim Coyote was so excited that he could not stand up, but he just crawled around on the ground. And he said to his bride,
Why don't you come to bed? Let's hurry and go bang one out.
But the boy just sat there. And after a while, when Coyote was more and more impatient, the boy lay down by him, but not close to him. Coyote said,
I want you to lie close so I can creepily smell your hair.
He tried to touch the boy, but the boy said, Down, and pushed Coyote's hand away. This kept up all night, just until before dawn. Coyote made a grab and caught hold of the boy's penis. He
What? Oh.
He let go
shit.
right away and jumped back. He yelled,
Get away from me and get back from me. You're a boy, not a girl. Never mind my boner. Stop looking at my boner.
Then Coyote got up
it again?
and called the people, saying,
You lied to me. You didn't give me a wife at all. Give me back my tobacco.
But no matter how loudly he yelled, they wouldn't. This is the way people first got tobacco. The end.
The end. Coyote finally gave up after about an hour, and he's like, Fine, I'm going to bang this dude, and then I'll show all of you. Ooh, that was based on a legend reported by Grenville Goodwin in 1939. But it comes from the White Mountain Apache tribe. Yeah. I believe we are now moving on into story number 5. How to Scare a Bear by the Tiwa tribe.
What's up, neighbors? Long ago and far away, this did not happen. On top of a red rock hill.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. This didn't happen.
I thought I would make sure to read that first sentence very clearly. On top of a red rock hill lived a little rabbit. Prickly pears were his favorite food, and every day he would hunt for them along the east bank of the Rio Grande. Eventually, he ate all the prickly pears on that bank, so he cast his hungry eyes for across the river. He said to himself,
I'll bet there's plenty of them grow over there. Now, how am I going to get across the river to look?
The rabbit knew the river was too deep and too wide for him to swim on his own. He sighed and said,
Oh, how I wish that Uncle Fastwater, who makes the current, were here to take me across.
Fastwater heard and replied,
Hi, child. I'm laying right here. What can I do for you?
The little rabbit leaped towards the sound and said,
Hey. Knock, knock. Hey, Uncle, this where you live?
His uncle said,
Yes, this is the place. What kind of work do you want from me,
Rabbit says.
I want to cross the river to pick prickly pears. But the water is too deep and too wide for me. Will you help me get across?
Fastwater agreed, and so the little rabbit sat on top of his head. Splash, splash, splash went the water, and quickly the two were on the other side. Fastwater said, as they landed,
Be sure to call me when you want to come back. Or just send me a text message. It's so much quicker.
That is true. The rabbit wanted to get home before nightfall, so he wasted no time but went right to picking and eating prickly pears. Then Brother Bear appeared and said,
Hey there, little rabbit. What a pretty necklace you have. I want to make a bet with you for that necklace. I'm willing to bet my red necklace for yours. If I win, you'll give me yours, and if you win, I'll give you mine.
Little Rabbit agreed, and they arranged to meet at noon the next day in the same spot. That afternoon, the little rabbit returned to the river, and his uncle easily carried him back across the river. Rabbit said,
Tomorrow, you must wait for me, Uncle. I've placed a bet with Brother Bear, and I'll need you to carry me across the river again.
His uncle replied,
I'll wait for you. I know you'll win.
The next day, the little rabbit got up early and hurried to meet Brother Bear. Because of his early start, he arrived first and decided to stroll in the woods. As he was hopping around, he spotted an old horse bell that still had a dried-up piece of leather tied to it. He hung it around his neck, and with each jump, the bell went clang, clang.
Hop, clank, hop, clank.
The little rabbit said to himself,
I think this bell will come in handy there with Brother Bear.
And he hid the bell carefully in the woods. Brother Bear appeared around noon and said,
Well, you're here early.
The little rabbit said yes, but nothing more. The two picked a place in the dense wood area to have their contest, and then Brother Bear made a circle around the ground with a stick and said,
Well, there, little rabbit, you could go first.
And the little rabbit said,
Oh, no, you wanted to make the bet, and you should go first.
So Brother Bear says,
Well, yes, maybe I will go first then. I bet you I'm the I thought that said beaver. I'm the beaver of us two. Neither of you are beavers. See that circle? You sit in it, and if you move even a little bit from where you're sitting, I win.
Little Rabbit sat down, and Brother Bear took off into the woods. A few minutes later, the rabbit heard strange sounds. Little Rabbit thought,
I know that's Brother Bear out there trying to scare me with that 80s horror movie theme he's got going on, but I won't move.
Closer and closer came the strange sounds. Suddenly, with the crash, it got a great big tree came tumbling down and barely missed the little rabbit. Brother Bear shouted,
Hey, you move there, you move. I saw you move there.
Little Rabbit said,
No, I didn't. Come see it for yourself.
Brother Bear couldn't find any footmarks and had to agree that Little Rabbit had not moved at all. So Little Rabbit said to Brother Bear,
Now it's your turn, Duck. You must sit in this circle just as I did yours.
And the rabbit drew a circle, and Brother Bear sat in it. Leaving Brother Bear sitting in the circle, the rabbit headed into the woods. And he just put the old horse bell around his neck and headed towards the place where Brother Bear was waiting. And after he had hopped a few steps, the little rabbit stopped and rang the horse bell and sang,
Oh, no. Oh, da. It's Johnny, choo-ha-ha.
Thank you.
Where are you sitting, my bear friend?
When Brother Bear heard this, he thought,
Hey, that's not my friend out there, the little rabbit. This is something else altogether there.
Coming closer to the circle where Brother Bear was sitting, the little rabbit rang his horse bell louder and sang his song once more. And Brother Bear, growing really frightened, stood up and ran. The little rabbit jumped out and called,
Hey, you lost. Let me have your necklace.
and as the story goes, which did not happen, the little rabbit defeated Brother Bear. And today, if you see a rabbit with in the Tiwa country, and if he has a red ring around his neck, you can be sure that that is the rabbit descended from the little rabbit who won Brother Bear's pretty red necklace.
And you know what it means if he has a brown stripe on his head, right?
Mm-hmm. He just got some fucking...
That the bear has a clean ass.
Well.
That's an old hippie story about how the bear wipes his ass.
Nice. This is one of my favorites. It's funny.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, that was from the Tiwa tribe. We are moving on to Iktome. Had a bad dream from the brulee soup.
Once in the middle of the night, Iktome woke up in a cold sweat after having a bad dream. His friend Cayote, who was visiting, noticed something wrong, and he asks,
Friend, what is the matter?
Iktome says,
I had a very bad
I
dream.
thought he was Spanish.
Oh, I had a very bad dream.
Coyote says,
What did you dream of?
Iktome says,
I dreamed I saw a very pretty winchachachata to take a bath in this stream.
Coyote says,
Well, that doesn't sound like a bad dream.
Iktome says,
This girl was taking her clothes off. I saw her naked. She had a very fine body.
Coyote says,
My friend, decidedly this is not a bad dream. I'm getting chubbed up just hearing about it.
Iktome says,
I dreamed I was hiding behind some bush at quite a distance from her. As I watched her, my penis began to grow. It grew so exceedingly long it was winding towards her like a snake.
Coyote says,
There's nothing wrong with this dream at all. I mean, it sounds pretty normal. I actually fucked a couple of ducks that same way.
how to hold it down with some rocks to keep it underwater. Iktome says,
My penis was like a very long, long rope. It went all the way over to that girl. It went to the water. It touched her. But still, it was like rope. I was just pushing rope, man.
Coyote says,
Kanji, cousin, let me tell you, I wish I had such a dream.
Iktome
In my dream, I was fucking some dude that I had to marry because they stole my tobacco.
Iktome says, get a breather.
Whew. Now, my friend, the tip of my penis, it entered the girl. She didn't even notice at first. She was just like, hey, well, it's so big, you could throw it. It's like a hot dog in a hallway.
Coyote says,
Cola, I'm telling you, this is a fucking fine, good dream, man.
Iktome says,
Then my penis entered the girl all the way. She seemed to like it.
Coyote says,
God damn it, man. This is a very good dream. This is one of the best dreams I've ever heard, friend. I once had a dream that I tried to go on Dancing with the Stars and someone chopped off my arm. You're coming at me over here with this 50-foot dick.
Iktome says,
Powerful. Just at that moment, I heard a great noise. I had been so excited in my dream that I hadn't noticed a team of horses on top of me. A Wesicus, a white man's wagon. It was coming at a dead run, and the white man was whipping his horses. The wagon was very heavy, my friend. It had heavy wheels of iron. It was going in between me and that girl.
Coyote says,
Well, friend, now I'm starting to see where this dream turned. You were very right. This is indeed a horrible dream.
The end.
The end. And I woke up right before they chopped my dick. And what do I find? Coyote sleeping next to me, awkwardly close.
It's the original Wells Fargo carrying all that gold.
It's the original Wells Fargo. Yeah. Oh, jeez, yeah. I like that. Told at a bar in Winter, South Dakota. The story is a winner in 1969. Recorded by Richard Erdos, but originally from Brule Sioux tribe. Oh. How the Coyote got his cunning. Story number 7 from the Karak tribe?
Mm-hmm. Korea was a god who was, in the very beginning, created the world. First, he made the fishes in the oceans, and then he made the animals on land. And last of all, he made man. He had, however, given all the animals the same amount of rank and power. So he went to man, and that he had created, and said,
"Make as many bows and arrows as there are animals. I'm going to call all the animals together, and you are to give the longest arrow to the one that should have the most power, and the shortest arrow to the one that should have the least."
So the man set to work making bows and arrows, and at the end of 9 days, he had turned out enough for all the animals created by Korea. Then Korea called them all together and told them that man would come to them the next day with bows, and the one with whom he gave the longest would have the most power. Each animal wanted to be the one to get the longest bow, and Coyote schemed to outwit the others by staying awake all night. He thought that if he could be the first one to meet man in the morning, that he would get the longest bow for himself.
I will offer him fellatio.
So when the animals went to sleep, Coyote lay down and only pretended to sleep. About midnight, however, he began to feel genuinely sleepy. He got up and walked around, stretching his eyes to keep them open. But as time passed, he grew sleepier, and he resorted to skipping and jumping to keep awake. But the noise woke some of the other animals, so he had to stop.
Shut up, Coyote. I'm trying to sleep.
About the time of the morning star came up, Coyote was so sleepy that he couldn't keep his eyes open any longer. So he took 2 little sticks and sharpened them at the ends, and with these he propped his eyelids open.
Ow.
I know. Then he felt it was safe to sleep, since his eyes could watch the morning star rise. He planned to get up before the star was completely up. For by then, all the other animals would be stirring, and in a few minutes, however, Coyote was fast asleep. The sharp sticks pierced right through his eyelids, and instead of keeping them open, they pinned them shut. When the rest of the animals got up, Coyote lay there in a deep sleep. The animals went to meet the man and received their bows. Cougar was given the longest, Bear the next longest, and so on until the next to last bow was given to the frog. The shortest bow was still left, however, and man asked,
"What animal have I missed?"
The animals began to look about, and they soon spied Coyote lying fast asleep, and they all laughed heartily and danced around him. Then they led him to the man, for Coyote's eyes were pinned together by the sticks, and he could not see. And the man pulled out the sticks out of Coyote's eyes, and he gave him the shortest bow. And the animals began to laugh so hard that the man began to pity Coyote, who would be the weakest of them all. So he prayed to Korea about Coyote, and Korea responded by giving Coyote more cunning than any of the animal. And that is how Coyote got his cunning.
Son of a bitch.
The end.
The end, yeah. Tale reported by E.W. Gifford in 1930 from the Karak tribe. Yeah, on to stuff. I'm excited for this one. On to story number 8. Coyote gets rich off the white men by the White Mountain Apache.
Once, when Coyote was visiting various camps, he and Bobcat heard about white man who was making some whiskey. They went together to the white man's house and managed to steal some. And after they had run a short distance with it, they stopped to drink. And then Coyote said,
"My cousin, I feel so good. I want to holler. I just want to run around and just woo."
Bobcat said,
No, we're still too close to those white men.
Coyote said,
"I won't holler loud, cousin."
They kept arguing and drinking, and finally Bobcat said,
All right then, holler quietly.
Coyote intended to holler softly, but before he knew it, he got carried away and hollered as loud as he could.
Bitches.
Now the white men heard this noise and headed straight towards him. Bobcat had had enough whiskey in him to feel good, but Coyote was real drunk.
Is that a coyote showing its tits?
And when the white men surrounded them, Bobcat got up, sailed over the nearest man with one jump. And a second jump, he leaped over all the rest and got away. And so they arrested Coyote and took him in chains to the town jail. Later on, Bobcat used to visit Coyote from time to time.
I just imagine the white man's side of it, just in town, because I could totally see that. Like, Jeb, did you lock up a coyote last night? I did, Sheriff. He was drunk and disorderly. Well, hoo. Make sure he gets a fair trial before we hang him tomorrow.
And once they arrested Bobcat and had them both locked up for quite a while. One day, the two prisoners watched some white men breaking horses in front of the jail.
Yep.
There was one horse that no one could get close to, and Coyote boasted, saying,
I could saddle that horse right away.
The prison guard told the men what Coyote had said, and they decided to let him out and see what he could do. Now, Coyote knew horsepower, and when he had to use it with the horse.
I know horsepower. I've got 350 under the hood of my Trans Am, bitches.
And when he had used it with the horse, it wasn't wild anymore. He got on and rode it around and then thought he would have some fun. The horse balked, and though he kicked it gently with his heels, it wouldn't move. Coyote told the white people to put on a fancy saddle, and they brought out a brand new one with taps and saddlebags and everything on it, just as he wanted. He put it on the animal, remounted, and kicked it, but gently, so that it wouldn't move. Coyote says,
This horse is thinking about a nice white bridle, and a bit, and nines all covered with silver, and maybe a brick of cocaine.
Actually, the horse was ready to go, but Coyote kept holding him. The men brought a fine bridle and put it on the horse, and then Coyote dismounted the horse and said,
I want you to fill the saddlebags with crackers and cheese. That's what the horse wants. Also, I want my fucking tobacco back. And also, I have to wear a good white shirt and vest and a big show hat. It's a big oversized hat. I want something that will almost be uncomfortable on my neck. And a pair of white-handled pistols on a belt. That's what the horse likes. And good silver spurs. And about $57, 35 cents in American currency. The horse wants these things also.
They brought all this finery for Coyote and filled the saddlebags. Now Coyote got on the horse. Ahead by the gate were some American soldiers. He kicked the horse hard and started for the soldiers at a gallop, making it look as if the horse were running away with him. The soldiers moved back, and he and the horse tore through the gate and disappeared. Later, Coyote sat down by a spring under a walnut tree. Thinking about the soldiers that he knew were after him, he swept the ground clean under the tree and strung his money up on its branches. Pretty soon, soldiers came along, and Coyote said,
I'm going to tell you about this tree. Money grows on it, and I want to sell it. Will you buy?
The soldiers were interested, and Coyote told them,
It takes a day for the money to grow and ripen. Today's crop is mine, but tomorrow it's all yours. I'll sell you this fine tree for all the money you have on yourselves and all of your pack mules.
Coyote was always thinking about eating, and he hoped that the packs held food. The soldiers agreed to the terms, and Coyote got a big rock and threw it against the trunk. Most of the money fell to the ground, and he said,
See, it only ripens at noon. You have to hit it just at noon.
He whacked the tree again, and the rest of the money dropped out. Now it was all on the ground, and the white men helped him pick it up and put it into sacks. They turned all their pack mules over and money on them and started off. Coyote traveled for the rest of the day and all night until he was in another country. Meanwhile, the soldiers camped under the walnut tree waited for noon, when the officers told the soldiers to hit the tree, and they pounded it hard. And when no money fell out, the officers ordered it chopped down and cut into lengths and split it up, just in case the money was inside.
Maybe the money's inside the bark.
No matter what they did, they couldn't find even 5 cents. That night, one of Coyote's mules got hungry and started to bray. Irritated by the noise, he killed every mule that brayed, until at last he had killed them all. So he went.
What the fuck,
I know.
Coyote? He just had a Carrie moment out there.
Yeah, for real. So when he came to a white man's house, he bought a burro from him. Now, Coyote was always thinking about how he could swindle someone, and the burro gave him another idea. Returning to his old home in the mountains, he put a lot of money up the burro's rear end.
That shit's funny. Okay. Ooh, sorry, folks.
Yeah, Dustin hasn't heard any of this. Then he kicked the animal in the belly so that it expelled all the money. He tried it again, and it worked as before. This burro is going to make... Oh, sorry. He thought...
This burro's going to make me money. This is the ass that shits gold.
Coyote put his money in the burro's rear end and started for town, where he went to the big man in charge and said,
Look at this wonderful ass. His excrement is money, and it comes out of him all the time.
Every day.
All the time. He shits more than once a day.
Coyote always talked like a chichi chahua.
Chihuahua?
Cheery chahua.
Chewy Chihuahua.
The head man said,
Let me see him do it.
Coyote says,
All right, see for yourselves. The first money that comes out is mine, but after that, it's all yours.
Coyote kicked the burro in the belly, and his money fell out. He gathered it up and said,
Oh my God. Oh, the smell is unbearable. All right, see for yourself. Now it's yours. Tomorrow at the same time, he'll do it again.
They paid him lots of money, and he went on his way. On the following day, when the time came, the white men brought out the burro and kicked him. He merely broke wind. They kicked him all day until evening, and then said, Well, might as well just kill this burro and look what's inside him.
That's what white people do. Well, I couldn't figure it out, so I just genocide. You know, that's usually my go-to.
So they cut him open, but there wasn't a sign of money inside. The end.
Hank, were you really dumb enough to take the word of a coyote? Well, yeah, Bill. He's an alcoholic. He's got a problem. Ooh, that was fun. This tale reported 1939, written by Grenville Goodwin from the White Mountain Apache tribe. On to our final story.
How do you feel about that?
Final story. Oh. Iktome sleeps with his wife by mistake. We've all been there, right?
You.
Oh, someone's sleeping in the couch tonight.
What trap?
From the Brûlée Sue.
Nice.
Brûlée Sue.
Iktome was dissatisfied. He was restless. Looking at his wife, he thought,
This woman has become old. She has become ugly. Her face is wrinkled. Her breasts are sagging. She's all dried up. It's like sandpaper, but with the shape of roast beef. Just a handful of roast beef. It is no fun sleeping with a woman like that. I must have a young, pretty girl. I must have a young girl soon.
His wife was looking at him. She knew him well, and she knew that look on his face. She said to herself,
Oh, that no-good husband of mine. He's probably thinking of some young, nice-looking Winchinchalla. Not giving me any pleasure. He barely even hits walls anymore. I'll fix him.
Iktome says,
Well, I'll go out for now. I have some things to do.
his wife says.
Oh, yeah, I bet you do, you son of a bitch.
Iktome
Have a good night.
Iktome was looking for a young girl to seduce. He saw one he liked, young and handsome, with laughing eyes, a laughing mouth, and a clear, smooth skin. She wore a fine white doeskin outfit with little bells attached to it, so it made it sound a pleasing sound when she
It's
moved.
like a Christmas sweater.
Iktome thought.
This is the one I shall sleep with tonight.
So he went up to the girl and said,
Pretty young Winchitara. Is this your teepee? You are standing in front of?
The girl just laughed. Iktome says,
I have many pretty things I could give to you.
the girl just laughs. Iktome says,
Tonight, after everybody is gone to sleep, I will creep into your teepee. You be on the left side of the door.
the girl just laughed. Iktome boasted.
Well, I am a great lover. You have no idea the pleasures that await you.
The girl
The
just
best 1 minute and 37 seconds of your life.
The girl just laughed. She did not take Iktome seriously. He was so comical. But Iktome took her laughter for consent.
Do you have a head injury or something? You just keep repeating the same laughter. I feel like I'm talking to a brick wall.
Iktome says,
Well, I guess I'll go now. Tonight I will make love to you. Don't forget, on the left side of the door.
from her teepee, Iktome's wife had watched it all, and after Iktome was gone, the wife went up to the girl, and she said, sorry.
Winchinchalla, has that no good man asked you to sleep with him tonight?
The merry girl just says yes and laughs. Okay.
Is there something wrong with you? I feel like there's a head injury that just didn't get resolved or something.
Iktome's wife says.
I knew it. In this teepee right over here.
The girl says, yes, in this teepee. Iktome's wife asks,
Are you on drugs or something? I'm just really trying to wrap my head around this whole chuckle thing. Where do you sleep?
the girl says, he told me to sleep on the left side. He goes by the door. Iktome's wife says,
Oh, now I'm getting it. It's just, I smell the marijuana now. I didn't pick it up when I first came. Yeah. But now it's literally all I'm
you
smelling.
got any Skittles?
Winchinchalla, how about tonight you and I switch places with each other? We'll exchange clothes and everything.
The girl asks, what will you give me? Iktome's wife says,
Well, what I won't give you is this fucking slap that I've got waiting in my hand. Well, I'll give you this nice choker of red and blue beads.
the girl asks, and what else? And Iktome's wife says,
Don't push your luck, sweetheart. But I'll give you this fine big hair strings made out of rare dentalium shells.
the girl says, "Oh my, these are pretty. All right, let's change places tonight." So the Winshinshala put on Iktome's wife's clothes and went into the teepee to sleep, while Iktome's wife took her place. That night, after everyone had gone to sleep, Iktome crept into the pretty girl's teepee. At the left side, he heard the woman stir, and he heard the slight tinkling of bells. He crept over there, and he whispered,
Oh, pretty girl, it's me, your lover, Iktome.
There was giggling in the dark, and Iktome says,
She's just all baked, sitting over there watching. I'm still so fucked up.
Iktome says,
Oh, pretty one, how fresh your mouth tastes. Not like the mouth of my middle-aged wife, which is just lousy with box wine and Virginia Slim cigarettes.
There was more giggling. And Iktome said,
Oh, well, it is very odd that your boob is down here, but it's very nice to fondle a firm, young breast, not sagging ones like my wife.
I like to imagine that his wife is only like 30. You know what I mean?
She is an old hag. She's like, I'm 25. I just smoked all that Cayote tobacco from the village.
There was more giggling, and Iktome says,
No, pretty one, how full of fire you are. How ardently you make laugh. Not just lying there as if you were dead like my old woman does it. But it really, I'm really getting a burn. It's really hot downstairs.
I call it zero effort.
Zero effort. Activate dead fish.
There was more giggling and squirming. Iktome came with the vinegar face.
I told you 1 minute and 37 seconds.
And then there was more giggling and squirming. And then Iktome says,
Oh, how pleasantly moist, how wet, how juicy. This is not dry like my wife's sandpaper roast beef vagina.
And says again,
Well, this was certainly enjoyable. Oh my, yes, this was fun. Well, I must go now. Maybe pretty soon we can do this again. Here, take these anal beads as my gift to you. Goodbye. Do not call me if you get pregnant.
There was a last giggle, and Iktome thought,
I wonder whether this wind chinchilla ever opens her mouth, except to giggle, I mean. Seriously, is it like a head injury, or is it just drugs? Is it just that much drugs?
Iktome was panting, and when he went home very slowly because the woman he had slept with had tired him out. By the time he got to his teepee, his wife and the pretty girl had already exchanged places. Again. And they were now where they belonged. Iktome lay down beside his wife and fell asleep. In the morning when he awoke, his wife was already up and about, and he said,
Old woman, I am hungry. Give me something good to eat.
His wife said,
Oh, I'll give you something good. I hope you like Sandy Box.
And hit him hard with her turnip digger.
Hey, please tell me that's another term for vagina, because if it's not, I'm gonna start you. She just threw that turnip digger right into his face.
Iktome cried.
Stop, you crazy woman! What are you doing?
His wife says.
Oh, so my breath isn't fresh?
And she hits him again. And Iktome says,
Oh, have pity on me.
His wife says,
Oh, my skin is wrinkled, huh?
And she was beating him all over.
Yeah, I'm just gonna drop this turnip digger right on your fucking chin.
Iktome says,
Oh, don't do that, it hurts.
Iktome's wife says,
Oh, so you don't like it when I stick a finger up your ass, huh? So what, my breasts are sagging now?
The blows were coming thick and fast. And Iktome says,
Oh, you're killing me with your vagina.
his wife says,
Oh, so I'm not a hot one, huh? You say that? I just lie there like I'm a dead fish.
And she hit him a real good one. And Iktome says,
Now, literally, you are killing me. Just please stop dropping your turnip digger on my face.
his wife says,
Oh, so I'm all dried up. Huh? I'm not pleasingly moist. Hey, well, it makes sense.
and she was hitting Iktome harder than ever. Iktome says,
Have pity. I will never sleep with anyone again.
his wife says,
Bullshit.
and kept on whacking him. Iktome managed at last to crawl out of the teepee and get away from her. He was running, afraid of his wife would catch up with him. A long way off, he stopped, hurting so much all over he could hardly move. His mind was hurt, too.
She literally beat me to death with her vagina. I believe she broke one of my arms. So what? I slept with an ugly old woman. So she tricked me. Oh, I am losing my touch. If I do not watch out, I'll make love to an old she-monster next. I must be more observant in the future.
And after a while, he got hungry. Nobody fed him. And so then he limped humbly back to his teepee. He entered cooing, making sweet talk, saying, I don't think I ever wrote that one down to you.
Yeah, he's got nothing. Wife, I swear to God, I will eat the shit out of your box. Didn't I give you a good time last night? What's for breakfast? Well, you know, I didn't really enjoy it nearly as much as you did. I think the thrill of what you thought was happening made you not realize what was happening. You called my breasts firm. I mean, you were easily grabbing them from my waistline. Oh, yeah. That one was...
And she's like 25, so sagging might be just like they grew a size and they're just barely down. The nipples still point up.
The nipples still point up. Nip skyward.
Skyward, you know what I mean.
One's looking to the left and the other one's just looking straight up. It's like 3 o'clock.
Jesus fuck. I hope you guys enjoy.
Yeah, that one was from Richard Erdos. While listening to stories around a powwow campfire on July 7th, 1971 in Pine Ridge, South Dakota, from the Brule Sioux tribe. I kind of am jealous because I would have loved to have done what Richard Erdos is doing. That sounds like all of these were funny. Just like, yeah, no, I went out to a bar. Some dude told me a story and now I'm a writer.
I know, right? Just goes out with like a little recorder. He's like, I gotta hear these stories.
I'll take any stories.
I do like stories like that. You should do that with that one guy. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
But with good jokes.
Yeah. Yeah. Hope you folks enjoyed it. It was really fun. Good fun times.
Yeah.
This has been our Trickster trilogy.
Do not need to listen to them in order, by the way.
You don't. Yeah. They're all over the place.
Yep.
Things to remember. Coyote fucks. And Iktome is not nearly as smooth as he thinks he is.
Yeah. Not all of them Italian boys are that
some of those just were way too funny for me though. Coyote tricking the white people was pretty good.
Yeah,
here's an ass that shits money. Pay me, bitches.
All from fucking getting out of jail. He just leaves his cousin Bobcat in jail.
I know. Whatever happened to Bobcat? Bobcat actually did 7 years. A hard time.
And then they decided to hang him in the end.
Yeah. But he was a bobcat, so he fell on his feet.
And we skinned him and made...
Bobcat hats.
Yeah, right?
Got your bobcat hats here. Yeah, be sure to like, subscribe, follow, share this with your friends. We're all word of mouth. Mm-hmm. So tell somebody to check it out and check it out. Tell us if you like it. Tell us if you don't. Yeah.
Check out our merchandise.
We've got some awesome merchandise. Yeah. teespring.com/high-mythology-merch. Yeah. Woo. Good stuff. Yeah.
I designed that shit myself, yo.
Yeah, Kim did some designing.
It was awesome.
Yeah. So check it out. Check out her designs.
For me.
Yeah. Yeah. We will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.